Good afternoon, guys. So I'm here and I'm using my Garth software and the video system to just highlight some of the areas of the squat and the overhead squat and some of the limitations that can affect how that squat performs. So the first thing I want to look at is ankle dorsiflexion. So if you ever look on the screen alongside, you'll see on the screen here, we've got James on one side and we've got myself on the other. And I've got very limited ankle dorsiflexion. So we see at the bottom of James's squat, he's got about 52 degrees of ankle dorsiflexion, and I've got about 74 degrees, and that's probably falsely magnified as well by the fact that my feet are turned out, so you can see that my knees are almost directly over my toes, whereas James's knees are a few inches ahead. If we then move further up that chain, what that's going to do is it's going to affect the knee angle and the hip angle in the squat. Now, generally in a squat position, what we're looking for is the knee angle and the hip angle to be pretty similar. Okay, what is the Z angle here? So the 38-degree knee angle that James has got, he also has 38 degrees of hip angle as well. So two parallel lines between his tibia, so his lower leg bone, and his torso. So both those parts of his body are in line and parallel. You can see with myself, I've only got 70 degrees of knee angle, which means that my hip angle is going to have to compensate. I've got 38 degrees of hip angle here. So I'm leaned a long way forward relative to my knee angle. You can see as well, I'm struggling to get below parallel in that position. Now what that's going to do, that's going to be my torso relative to vertical is going to be dramatically different. So my torso relative to vertical is going to be much more leaned forward, which means that the bar is going to be much further forward of my toes. So look at James' angle here. James's barbell is almost directly over his ankles. So he's got a really solid position with which to hold that bar, and he's not needing to get his arms too far back from his body to get into that overhead squat position. That's going to give a position of great stability. You look at myself, the barbell is well in front of my toes. Now what that's going to mean is that my lower back is going to have to be supporting my barbell, okay? It's going to have to be holding me there. So I'm going to have to extend my lower back to get the bar even over my shoulders, and then my lower back's going to be taking the brunt of that weight. You think of the leverage there. So I'm taking a lot of that weight in my upper body, whereas James can stabilise much more easily and hold the bar of his entire midsection from there, which enables him to get a nice vertical movement of the barbell up. Now, if you look at my own squat when I'm coming up, what you're going to see is a movement where I'm obviously going to have to move backwards, and you can see how I move backwards away from the bar. So that line now, you can see is in front of my body rather than through the middle of my body there. So you can see I start there, so I've definitely leaned forward and I've moved off that. Now what does that mean for my squat? Well, it means that I need to be really, really careful as to how I load that bar, because I can't load it with the sort of weight that maybe I think I should, because I'm definitely going to risk myself an injury. So what I need to do first of all is just work on my technique. I need to sort my ankle mobility out, because if I don't do that, if I don't improve my squat, then I'm always going to be limited in how much I'm going to be able to squat overhead, how much I'm going to snatch. So that's my work for the next, probably for me, because it's so poor, I reckon it's probably 18 months, 2 years of solid work. I'm going to put in 3 45-minute stretch sessions. We've been doing it for a month, 3 45-minute sessions, and I'm going to do that alongside some daily ankle mobility work as well. And when I do that, that's hopefully going to improve my squat, which is then going to make my overhead squat and my snatch much more efficient. Once I've sorted that part of the chain out, I am working on other parts as well at the same time, but you can see at the moment how much the ankles are my limitations. So if you're doing an overhead squat and you've got limb mobility, then by all means carry on doing it, but watch the weight that you're going to be doing with that. I hope that helped, guys. I hope that's informative for you, and I'll catch up with you soon. Thanks.